Hello everyone, before we move on to today's lesson, let's have a very quick starter. Time yourself for 2 minutes and try to answer this question here. Divide the quantity in a given ratio. Pause the video and play when you're ready. So did you manage to get all of them right? Well done then. Alright, our lesson objective for today is to be able to understand proportion. So our success criteria is to understand what a proportion means, using proportion to solve ratio questions, understand what direct proportion means, and to solve problems involving direct proportion using unitary method. Let's take a look at this example. A proportion simply means it compares a part with a whole. Now, just like a fraction, if we take a look at this example, to make a glass of orange squash, we need 1 part of orange and 3 parts of water. So 3 out of every 4 parts of the orange squash are water. So the proportion of water is 3/4. Now that is what we call a proportion. 3 is the part and 4 is the whole. Now let's take a look at an example of how to use proportion to solve a ratio question. Now the ratio of staff to student in school is 2 to 25. There are 425 students. How many staffs are there? Now in this question, if we do realize, they give us 1 part of the ratio. Now that is what we call a proportion. Okay, let's write this down. Staff ratio to students. Now that is in a ratio of 2 to 25. Now what part is given to us? We know how many students are there, which is 425 students. Now we need to find out how many staffs are there. Now that's easy. Now let's take a look at what times 25 gives us 425. That would be 17. So similarly, we need to take 2 times 17 to find out how many staffs are there. And that would be 34. Therefore, there are 34 staffs. That's it. Now let's take a look at what a direct proportion means. A direct proportion simply means when one quantity increases and another quantity increases at the same rate. So for example, a telephone call costing 8 cents per minute. How much does it cost if you use for 10 minutes? Okay, let's write it down in terms of a ratio. So we have 8 cents per 1 minute. And how much does it cost for 10 minutes? So 1 times 10 gives us 10 minutes. And we could do the same. Take 8 times 10. That would give me 80 cents. So 10 minutes, it costs us 80 cents. Now this is what we call a direct proportion. When a quantity increases, the other quantity increases at the same rate. Let's take a look at this example. A pink paint mixes white and red paint in a ratio of 5 to 3. If 32 liters of white paint are used, how many liters of red paint must be used to make the pink paint? Okay, let us write this down. White to red paint in a ratio of 5 to 3. Now we know that there are 32 liters of white paint. So how many red paints do we need? Now in this case, we can't directly find out what times 5 can give us 32. So here we are going to be using unitary method. Now unitary method is when you change the ratio in a form of 1 to n. So we have our original ratio 5 to 3 here. What we can do is now turn our ratio of white to become 1. Now how can we turn it into 1? We need to divide by 5. So we do the same on the other end. 3 divided by 5. We would get 0.6. Now, instead of using 5 to 3 now, we are going to be using the ratio 1 to 0.6. Now can we convert that to 32? Yes, we can. We just need to times 1 with 32 to get 32, and 0.6 times by 32. And that would be 19.2 liters. Now this is what we call a unitary method. We need to turn the ratio into the form of 1 to n. Let's take a look at this example. A ribbon costs 80 cents for 2.5 meter. How much does it cost for 26 meters? Let us write this down first. 0.80 to 2.5 meters. And we have 26 meters. And we need to know how much does it cost. Let's use the unitary method. Let's turn 2.5 to 1. Now to do that, we need to divide by 2.5 on both sides. So we now here would have 1, and here would be 0.32. So 0.32 to 1. It doesn't matter which part or which proportion that you change it to 1, as long as one of the proportion you change it to 1. Now we can easily turn 1 to 26 now by multiplying 26. So we take 0.32 times by 26 as well. And that would be $8.32. So for 26 meters, it costs $8.32. Now please complete this task in your rate exercise book with complete working, and please mark your answers once you're done. All answers will be shared on Google Classroom. Now if the question requires you to use the unitary method, please use the unitary method. So good luck, take care, until I see you then.